Welcome to Team Fortress TV with Admirable, HYS and Jon. We're here for the ETF2L Season 17 powered by TT Esports Premiership Week 1 fixture. Yep, we're going back in time thanks to the wildcard system. We're going to watch Ayogurl, Sugar Daddy, Hood Pussy Creepers versus La Berrichonne de Châteauroux. That is the new name for Evocate Gaming. They have apparently parted ways with their org. Sign that one out for me there, HYS. How's your French pronunciation?
Excellent.
Go ahead. Give it a go. Give it a go.
I don't know the
La
name right now.
Berrichonne de Châteauroux.
Say it one more time for me. I got to get it right, man.
La Berrichonne de Châteauroux.
La Berrichonne de Châteauroux.
That's my understanding.
Epic. I think yours is better.
This is part of that is Tech's hometown, and they're a football team actually. Definitely, if you've heard of LB Châteauroux, that's them. But they're also. They've got the tag 36, I understand, or 36, but I think for the cast we'll probably just call them LBC. Not to be confused with Long Beach, California, all you Snoop Dogg fans out there. But the maps will be Granary and Gully Wash. And sorry for starting a little bit late here, guys, but it seemed like Ayogurls were determined to finish their practice game. They've put in an extra 10 minutes there against Daughter, and that finished 3-3. I don't know if that tells us anything at all. What do you know about these teams, HYS?
Well, obviously, the French guys, maybe a couple of changes from their former lineup that was so solid, really, and became a regular fixture in the Premiership, obviously winning playoff position in one of the previous seasons. Obviously, they're very strong on deathmatch. They're very good friends as well, so I'm assuming that the chemistry is pretty good. They've had a couple of upgrades in the form of Exxon on Demo Man, from who obviously would have been formerly Flynn or Pognon, as we know. And now obviously they've brought in a scout instead of Pla, what it looks like would be Demul. So a couple of changes for the French side, but obviously excellent deathmatch, and effectively we're looking at sort of two, if you can call, national teams, not the official national teams as such, but the Brits versus the French, really. So a war of the two countries.
The Brits aren't even the Brits anymore. They recently dropped Permzilla in favour of Ethog, who is Norwegian, and there was some sort of drama there. I'm just gonna paraphrase the story that happened. It was like Permzilla tunted in a practice game or something, and Mike got really pissed off and just disconnected from everything, and a day or two later Permzilla found himself cut from the roster, or at least benched for Ethog, who'd been a backup. And going back to the sort of genesis of this team, whenever they first came together, it was supposed to be a fun team playing in Div 1, and that's what Permzilla signed up for, and then found himself in the Premiership, and these kids trying hard. So maybe not the worst thing that or I'm sure he's not entirely disappointed, you know, that he's been dropped from the roster or whatever you want to say, but that's how it stands right now. And these guys didn't perform too well after all their preseason hype in the cup, but we are going live here, so we'll save any of that bullshit for later. This is Team Fortress TV with Admirable, HYS and Jon. We're here for the ETF2L. No, it isn't going live. I'm just lagging. What the hell? Or is it live? I'm so confused right now.
I think one team took it live, and they did say good luck, have fun, so you can be excused for that mistake.
I'm just going to relax, take a deep breath. But yeah, this is going to be the ETF2L Season 17 powered by TT Esports. Shout out to those guys. A Week 1 fixture in the Premiership here between AO and LBC. That's what I'm calling them. You with me, HYS?
I'm with you.
None of these annoyingly long names. There we go. We are live now.
Sounds a little bit like a baguette.
A baguette?
That's right.
Take me to the first
I'm
middle.
going to take you to middle. I'm following the demo man that is the MGE beast, Mike, on the bottom left-hand corner. He's put a sticky early up top. The scout will shoot it where he's taken an early little bit of damage from Mike there. He'll drop to the health gate. Two soldiers for the red side. The French coming in right, aggressive. Soldier jumping in, flying around. T-Mac will get picked off early. That's an early advantage now for Ayogurl as they look to take some point presence. Flippy will equal that out, but Sideshow's in aggressive. Who gets a 2k onto the soldier of Tech, and that'll be a full wipe. French side.
A wipe coming out from the Brits, plus a Norwegian. Producing the goods there on that first middle. And I should apologise as well, we don't have any straw poll today, guys, to figure out who you think is going to win, because that straw poll.me is down. But please spam us in the chat. Tell us who you want to win this game or who you think is going to win. Right now, Ayogurl are sitting with a massive Uber advantage and are figuring out how they want to push this. If they've been listening, they would have heard a heavy weapons guy hollering, and they might know, they'll hear that minigun for sure. They know there's a heavy here, so they have to target him down. And the sniper too, they're going to flash the Uber in. They're not sure who to go for. You get that heavy, actually, the big focus fire coming in there from Sideshow and Mike. Everyone's moving over to the right hand side as the blue team try and get heals around their medic. They've already taken down Bull, but Exxon and Flippy are trying their best to stand up to these remaining 4 blue players. Exxon gets stickies onto Haku and craters Starkey, but will not be able to finish off his opposite number there, Mike. Mike, of course, the legend of European Team Fortress 2, is playing Demo Man in this team. Heads up if you hadn't realised that.
Yeah, and I'm going to take you to middle now, and I'm going to follow the blue team's Demo and Ayogurl. Sorry, that's Mike that I'm following for the second middle in a row, but we'll stay with him right now. He's rolled out rather slow here. He's going to take the top. He'll be joined by a scout up top as well, and he looks like he should have taken early sticky, but he avoided that damage as he puts an early sticky, putting some early pressure onto the top right as both soldiers from the red side, the French team, have moved in on the right. There's a scout going to go aggressive across point. And that's a 2-for-2 situation at the moment. The medic down a Bull, so the blue team in Ayogurl have a slight heal advantage, and it looks like there's some very low HP players from the French side. It's 3-for-3, but they have a slight disadvantage. That's an excellent air shot as well there by Mike as he looks to jump in onto the medic. They've got the high ground and the point presence, and they'll clear every single player from the French side. But because of the early kills there on the middle, we're watching them spawn all the way on their last point. Going to come and hopefully defend passively on their second.
Yeah, good patience there from King of Squirrels and Mike just to stay up top. I mean, it's very tempting to drop off those crates and try and heal up the rest of your players, but they just stayed up top, and as soon as Stark had taken down the LBC medic that is Bull, it was, you know, it was really like the middle was over right there. They had their medic in a place where it was very hard for him to be attacked, because like most players were weak by that stage of the middle. Right now they're pushing up top with the charge. They've got about 20% advantage, but it's dwindling slowly as Bull has been building his back up. He died really early and he's been up for quite a while now, and that middle took a while, so he has got his charge up. It is Uber versus Uber, but off that middle win, AO were able to take mid and CP4. Now the Ubers are traded, and Stark manages almost to escape up top, but T-Mac comes in the window and gets him. Saicho's going to avenge his teammate there, and that's a trade, but E-Thug went down during that last engagement as well, so AO, they'd be wise to sort of come up with a new plan here. They've got an opportunity to off-class. Starkey or E-Thug, or both, may switch it off. We could see heavies, we could see snipers. Stark's going to stay soldier. Let's see what E-Thug wants to do with this one.
Yeah, and we just watched them all get picked there rather late, so that means they're going to have a one-player advantage for approximately 10 seconds. It'll be interesting to see if they want to push on and take this advantage at all, but it looks like they're just going to build up slowly with Stark back on the point as Mike's put a couple of stickies up on the lower side. They've got Soldier holding up top trying to deny anyone pushing out the last
Spy.
from the French side, and there
Spy,
is a spy, but he's gone down to Mike's stickies as the doors opened. That's not good for the French side of Admirable, because that means now they're going to be defending Uber versus Uber situation with one player down, 5 seconds remaining. They're going to try and push on that, but Mike will go down to the stickies of Exxon. That's going to delay their push as they look to recycle.
Yeah, nobody really wants to take this engagement. Like, it can be a tough point to push. You really want to make sure you have a significant advantage, but look at this. Here comes the Uber trade as Stark and Kosk move forward and trade with Tech and Bull. There's no action happening on the flanks though. There's a little bit of spam trade, but Sideshow gets knocked off the high ground, and Demil will pick up that frag. T-Mac smashes the flank as well, finds Haku and E-Thug, and right now Ayogurl are in a very dangerous position here. They're staying forward, they're just confident in the combo play, but they're getting flanked right now. They need to be careful. There's T-Mac working the route, he's into the ramp room, and he has their attention. Now they're trying to look forward and backward while protecting their medic. T-Mac in, launches Kossa, but can't hit the air shot, and he had to go for that one but didn't connect, and LBC seem like they want to continue this push, but it mightn't be wise. They do get a frag onto Sideshow though. That's going to make it an even game. They have got a foothold in this point as well. HYS, they might just do it.
That's right, and I'm watching Stark hiding on the corner here. He's going to jump up top. He's going to try and pick the soldier, but it's useless. He's missed his opportunity to go for the medic. He's going to have to drop back. He'll get killed with his equalizer out. Hawku waking his way back. He might catch that demo man off guard in Exxon, and he's trying to sticky the forward spawn. He gets picked off. It's a good pick, but he does get 2 frags on his way from what I could see there. I don't know if he got a third there, Admirable. I don't know if he followed with his kill streak, reporting 3, but he's going to come in and I'm watching a scout duel on the point. He's going to have to back off. Hawku will have to let that go because now we've got a combo joining him in the form of Bull and his pocket soldier, what looks like to be Tech. They're going to push on from this. That's a good pick by Mike onto Flippy. As they get 2 spawns, they've got the heavy stack defense, a sniper and a heavy that make their way onto the pipe to look to see if they can defend this full Uber advantage.
And I'm fully expecting Flippy to off class here. Will he snipe? Heavy it's going to be. So they're probably going to Uber in here with their classes that are on the field right now and then re-push with the heavy Exxon, and Tech getting a flash in here. Tech being Ubered on the pipe to save his life right there, or Exxon, but the health is pretty good here for LBC. Now the heavy weapons guys comes in and they can start to put the stranglehold on here as they move forward slowly but surely with those heals, just trying to pick off anyone who's overextended or isolated. There's Starkey going down to the Scaragon of Demul, but they've waited too long and the Uber charge is coming in here for AO. They still have a man advantage, so Hawku decides to spawn on heavy, switches quickly back to scout, but this sort of long Uber exchange has meant that if the French want to, they can just hold. They have a big advantage now, and I think that is what Bull's telling them. They're not going to lose any more players right now. They're going to get their heals, get ready to push, and the force just, it was enough to save AO, but now they find themselves in an even worse position because they didn't get the frags on these French guys, and here they come right now with their charge. They popped off early, and a very forward position there from Mike. He serves super high heist.
Absolutely, and I'm going to take over here. They're going to get to see a 1-for-1 exchange. 2 players down now for Ayogurl. They need to make this count, and it's 2 for 2. Looks like they're holding on slightly, but it's 3 for 3, and the point is just going to be stood on and captured off.
Oh, there we have it. 1-1. 36, Troncis, LBC, whatever you want to call them. They are given a definitive response there to Ayogurl. They showed a lot of control there. It wasn't a fast round by any means, but they looked confident throughout. I'm going to watch the Mike roll out here onto middle. He's coming in lower, picking up the kit, and he's there significantly earlier, but none of his first stickies have done any damage. Didn't manage to tag that scout up top. That's Demul, and here comes a big bomb from the high ground. That is T-Mac going in and running back to his own med pack, but during that distraction, Tech came in and got a 2k, picking up Koss and somebody else in that ramp room, and it ends up a wipe from Ayogurl. That bomb from T-Mac was like a total distraction. Tech was the real weapon there.
Absolutely, and both soldiers from LBC, like, synchronized diving there. I gave him a 10 for those 2 bombs, and it looks like now I'm just going to follow Tech. He's going to take the top, and he's going to drop back down to join that Uber. They're just waiting there, I think, for the spawn of Exxon as they look to push on to the last point. Ayogurl won't have the Uber charge. They're going to be 70% disadvantage as the Uber comes in. Bottom right, 1 soldier on top of the pipe. Demo coming in, spamming. He's trying to focus that heavy down. No one's helping him. He's the only player. It looks like he go down to the heavy. This is not looking too good for that push from the French side, but it's even, and they have the scouts alive currently. They're finishing the players off. Great work by Demul. He'll get the 2k. Flippy will go down shortly after Demul as well, and this will be a soldier versus soldier, and Sideshow will hold on to the last point.
Tech hit some big rockets there, but wasn't enough to finish off Sideshow. He survives on 24. He goes back to the cabinet, and they have enough players up to defend now. The respawns are in for the French. T-Mac is taking a peek up top. He's just trying to see what the setup is here for Ayogurl, but LBC are back, building up a standard Uber charge. Both medics not opting to make any crazy crits plays. They're going to play it fairly standard, but we see a spy on the field here from Etho, guys.
Absolutely, I'm just trying to navigate my way to Ether, and it looks like he's just switched back actually. He's just going to take snipers, so a little bit anticlimactic there, I'm afraid. But
maybe he was checking for the crits.
Absolutely, possibly, and it looks like he's gone, as we see, T-Mac's gone down. That's probably from top as he looked to peak there. Stark's playing quite aggressive on top. I think they're just trying to buy a little bit of time with the picking T-Mac there, and it looks like they will. They'll get the Uber charge in time to defend. Looks like the French don't want to take their chances. Look at this positioning here from Ayogurl. They've got the heavy on the top pipe, both soldiers forward, very aggressive positioning. They don't want to let them get in here without Uber and James.
Yeah, they know there's a sniper. The mill peaked and got tagged by E-Thug there. If this is me right now, and I know it's an Uber versus Uber exchange, I might Uber in and try and get that sniper pick. I mean, that's the easy frag to get there. They're going to Uber whatever happens, but they do go in and force Ubers, and they haven't really got anything other than that, just the trade straight up there. They're trying to re-push now, but there's still a sniper on the field. Or sorry, E-Thug switches back off the scout after that, but Hawker is a heavy up on the pipe. That's hard to kill. T-Mac and is just respawning as Demul goes down, but really nothing ventured, nothing gained there. It was very safe play by both sides, and I think LBC are just hoping that AO are going to slightly overextend into them, give them a few cheap frags, but both teams showing some good composure here, just making these minimal investments. And there's T-Mac again with the single bomb, hoping he gets lucky. It's not likely that it's going to happen, but they've got really nothing to lose by throwing those players in.
Absolutely, and what we're seeing right now, James, is we're seeing the demo sticky to bottom left and the soldiers holding very aggressive up top. They don't want to let them come in, but they had to Uber through the door early because of their positioning. They did back off a little to milk that Uber. They're going to have a longer Uber. Let's see what they can do here. Medics traps out in the bottom. This could be the chance now for Ayogurl to re-push. We'll see what they can do here. They still have a heavy up. A scout looks to be switching. Oh no, he's just going back for the respawn. They're pushing slowly with this heavy, but because of the heavy speed, they don't seem to be making much progress. T-Mac will wait. He's going in for the medic on the bottom right. He'll get the medic pick, of course. Mike will finish him off, but now we're looking at 2 down for Ayogurl. That's a medic down as well. The Mule rocking the spy as well. I'm going to switch to him, see where he's coming in. He's onto the point. He's got his buff from the medic. He's going to move in as it's 2 for 2.
There's a spy. He's working his way here. He's just crossed past, and he's in position here to get a pick. He's hiding. He's going to have his real choice. He's going to go for the heavy weapons guy here, and I think that's a good one. Gets a little heal from the medic as well. Cost with the assist there, killing off his own guy. And Demul has somehow survived as well. Egged someone down during that to Mike's stickies, but I think he was sort of baiting a little bit for that spy play from Demul. And
it's certainly a shame as well that they didn't kind of be a little bit more aggressive with that spy, because the medic was just respawning, the heavy would have been down, they'd have lacked heals, and they could have really synced something in there, but they will still have the Uber advantage. They're going to push off that as well, James, on the bottom right.
Oh, they just popped immediately. They're going to send in 2 or 3 Uber players there. They realise that Koss has been separated, he's gone up top, but the rest of the frags are coming in thick and fast. Only 1 player remains alive right now, as great deathmatch work there from the French earns them another round. LBC taking it 2-1 against Ayogurl right now. There are still, how many minutes left? 60 minutes left on the clock here. And I'm getting a little bit of lag. Is this pause? No, it's not. He's taking
Certainly
this
not.
next middle.
And I'm going to watch the 2 acrobatic soldiers will be taking T-Mac. I'm going to follow them both to middle in free look and see what they're going to do here as they look to bomb in and continue that aggressive play. They're going to split onto the middle. 1 soldier right in the form of Tech, the other soldier T-Mac onto the left. He jumps up onto the left crate. Tech will go aggressive right side, get a good rocket onto the medic. He's been focused down by E-Thug. Stark will get T-Mac, both soldiers down early, not too much happening there, but Cross will go down in the exchange, Stark will go down. It's a fairly even deathmatch battle here, but it looks like Ayogurl have the better of the duel, but they have 2 weak players and it's going to turn around slightly. Demul and Flippy both weak, Mike low, that'll be E-Thug versus both scouts, but he won't be able to take both. He'll take Demul down just before Flippy will equal the score, and that'll be the French side, LBC, to take the middle.
Yeah, watch Stark coming across the top there. He saw T-Mac sort of jumping in and then jumping back to the LBC med kit, and Stark went across the top, air shot and finished him off with the shotgun, but Demul was straight on top of him as well. And like, if you were to compare these rosters on paper before the game had started, I would definitely say that or people have said throughout the pre-season as well, you know, the scouts of Ayogurl, they are probably the weaker component. Like, you see, you've got Mike and Stark there in the combo. They're both incredible players. It's a really big question marks over the sort of flank players. You know, you've got Sideshow there, who's unproven and has a terrible PC, and then Hawku playing his first season here. Not even his first season in Prem, but I think his first season of competition in ETF2L period. And Ethug as well, standing in for Permzilla. I'm sure he's still sort of integrating into the team. And he's, like, in my eyes, he's just not as strong as Flippy, and maybe not as strong as Demu.
Definitely the French have the edge on the deathmatch perspective, and they are, I guess you could say, they're more established as well, despite possibly 3 changes effectively, with Bull coming in on medic, and obviously Demu and Exxon. But Exxon has been playing with them for at least 1 season, I believe, and they look to be pretty solid right now. And we're just watching a bit of an exchange that happens in a very choky map. Both teams reluctant to push, and obviously at the moment the attacking team 2-1 up. They don't really need to push for anything, James.
Yeah, this is a tough point to push. Historically, pushing from second on Granary to third is one of the hardest pushes in the game, especially whenever you have to go in Uber versus Uber. But it looks like the French just want to give them an excuse to push. There's T-Mac going in on a sort of Hail Mary of a play, trying to jump around through a sticky trap and into 2 or 3 other players, but it's essentially a bait there. They know that even with the Uber charges here and a man disadvantage, like, it doesn't matter. They want to give Ayogurl a reason to push. They want them to push and fail. Their start going down, and that's not bad. Right now they can go into an Uber trade right now, and there'll be no pocket when the Ubers fade for Ayogurl. They're all very bunched up there. If Exxon wants to push, he could go and get the force here, but he's just trying to put out a lot of spam damage. It looks like they want to take the slower approach. They're Teg coming in and finds a sticky trap. The Uber comes in to make sure he doesn't die. He was on 100, gets the force off himself, but by now Stark is back in the game, and we're sort of going to go back to square one here, to be honest.
Absolutely, and it looks like it will just be a recycle and a rebuild, but we'll see if one team wants to take the initiative on. But as it looks at both teams fairly passive, and it's understandable because these are difficult positions to come from. But T-Mac will come in, he'll get the pick onto Sideshow, Flippy will go down. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. Quite a bit of aggression in here for Exxon. It's opened it up a little bit. Mike's had to back off. He's not holding the door. 2 soldiers coming in from that right side from my angle, and it looks like Exxon will go down to 2 scouts flanking. Soldier in. They'll lose 3 players now for that aggression, and it looks like Tech has his medic out safely onto the bottom right as Demul gets picked on bottom left.
Yeah, the scouts of Ayogurl coming in at the crucial time there. Those soldiers might have been able to escape if it wasn't for Hawku and Ethug coming in for the cleanup. And LBC have shown that they don't mind taking risks there. They tried to make something happen, but they got punished for it. AO holding them to account right there, but for their troubles, they've lost middle. And now, even though they're winning 2-1, they might feel that I don't think they're going to push, to be honest, actually. I suspect they're going to sit back here and wait for AO to initiate once again, trying to get themselves back in this game. They're around down right now. There's 12 minutes left on the clock, but that's not a long time on Granary, man. This can be a slow map.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're going to show impetus here as they Uber the soldier through of Stark. He'll force early. That's forced the split. So that means that Uber's going to go down, but they're going to have slightly longer still than Ayogurl. It looks like that's just going to be a recycle, I'm afraid. And Mike's putting a little bit of aggression in onto the new door with Stark. They're playing kind of aggressively in the ramp room. They need to show the attacking intention, because at the end of the day, they're 1 round down. They're getting a little bit of space. They've forced them out on yard with this soldier on the flank, Sideshow, and Hawku sinking in as Mike's coming from the new door. They're forced into yard. That's really some pretty good work, but that soldier double jump will get denied by Stark. Mike will be finished off though in the counter, but they're going to have to let go possibly because they have no position, no demo man to put the heavy damage down onto the point. They're just going to force their out. Some good work from the soldiers here of Ayogurl as they're going to secure this point, and it's going to be an Uber versus Uber exchange. Last point of LBC.
Great play there from Ayogurl. Like, that was subtle stuff. It was a lot of focus fire and spam and just pushing off the damage, not even frags there. Stark and Mike landed a couple of key shots onto Exxon, and he had to take all the heals there, so that meant that the rest of LBC had to sort of be a bit more careful, and when they gave that little bit of space back, AO just took advantage. Mike walked forward. He actually ended up getting picked off because of that distraction from T-Mac, but very impressive there from AO, managing to work their way in there without really trading Ubers or anything. That's the sort of stuff I like. It might be exciting to watch, but that's TF2 at the highest level, man.
It certainly is, and we're just going to watch now this sort of slowdown really as they're going to Uber in on top. They've wasted a lot of the Uber. I'm looking for the French side to have a little bit more attacking now, really, but they can't because the soldier's not in the position to do it, and they're going to re-push now, Ergo, because Exxon is down. That's the demo man advantage. Should be in the French, sorry, not in the French's favour, but in the Brits' favour as they pick a second player. It looks like they're going to slowly pick players off, and that'll be one spawn, but I don't think it'll be enough. And the French team will lose 5 and the point.
2-2, baby. And just taking a quick peek at the scoreboard, or the damage stats from last round. You can see Mike up on top there, nearly hitting 2,400 damage throughout that round. So I'm going to watch his POV here on middle. He's coming in from the blue ramp room this time, so it's going to be some sort of right side play here. He's opting to go up top, and his medic will no doubt be hooking up with him later, but he hasn't contested the start of the middle, playing a little bit like Seb Barton here. And his stickies aren't doing that much damage, but it seems like they're trying to focus down the soldiers. There's a lot of pressure coming in up top. It seemed a little bit like LBC weren't sure how to react to that one. They sent 2 soldiers in and lost them, as all those blue players were just up top covering their demo man. His cost went down during that, but I think they'll be happy to trade medic for the point here.
Absolutely, and some good work from Efog. He did get 2 really good early kills there. We watched Sideshow go in onto the medic of Bull. He did try to surf that rocket, but he just ended up going straight into the air, landed back onto another rocket from Sideshow. He'll finish him off. And now we're seeing Bull with I guess you could say a kind of late spawn. Koss only has a 20% advantage though. It's going to be interesting to see if they want to engage in this point. Exxon is pretty aggressive. He will take a stick. He's weak on 60 HP, but Ergo lose Sideshow. That may force the French in here to try and recap this point while the Ubers are still not built up to their full charge. And we're looking at, I'm just watching Tech now. He's trying to put a little bit of pressure, prevent them from coming in from yard. They are making their way in, but Flippy with an excellent headshot onto Stark. But there's a scout in behind. Exxon's trying to defend against it. He gets the pipe onto Hawku. He blocks it just in time, thankfully. And now we're looking at most,
well,
I think half the point.
Sideshow goes in and gets Exxon, almost gets Bull there, but he will survive on half health. Tech now getting healed up himself, and a sniper somewhere on the field, but AO could continue to push here, try and force this charge out before Exxon and Flippy respawn, but they're sitting back pretty defensively here because they have a crit streak. This is what they're going to base their next play around. They've got that damage multiplier about to come out. If you have just joined us, guys, this is Team Fortress TV with Admirable, HYS and Jon, and we're bringing you Premiership action here from ETF2L Season 17, but here comes an Uber charge from Bull, and let's try and stream forward here. They probably want to get that medic pick. They don't know Koss is running crits, but very soon they might find themselves dead.
Absolutely, and I'm just trying to locate Koss here. And my Resi comes in on the bottom left of the garage, second point, as the French are not aware of it. That's a 2-man pick onto Exxon and Tech, the combo players, the combo heavies, if you like, of the French team, LBC. They're going to get 3 picks, and Koss will go down in that exchange. 4 picks for the French, only a 1-man advantage, as they on to last with the demo man, with the pain train. He'll cap it off as he juggles, it will look like Bull onto that pipe, and that'll be 3-2 to Ayogurl.
Yeah, the LBC just didn't see that crits coming. They were expecting, an Uber repush there. That's why they were sort of happy to be bunched up and putting out a lot of spam to juggle back these Uber players. But the crits picking up a couple of frags there, and it was all downhill. Checking out the Exxon perspective on this middle, I can see him rolling out on Medpack, but he's trading stickies with Mike, who's done the exact same. But now the soldiers are going to arrive on middle, and it looks like LBC want to control their side. They're just moving down slowly. Double soldier bomb comes in, and they've put some pressure onto the king of squirrels. He's down on the half crate there, the blue crate, but got cleaned up. I mean, the 2 bombing soldiers got cleaned up. He managed to dodge that well by a lot of time for his team to react and get those frags, and maybe this double soldier aggression is becoming a little bit predictable.
It certainly looks like Ayogurl have the measure of the French team's aggression there, with T-Mac and Tech coming in. Seen Stark hit a nice air shot onto what I believe was T-Mac at the time. He forced him onto the ground and finished him off. And Ether, just as well, being passive with Stark, picking off those aggressive players while the rest of the team do some good work on the floor. But now we're watching 3-2 the scoreline. We're going to watch a full Uber advantage of Ayogurl. Looks like they're going to make their way up top onto onto the last point. Mike just putting some stickies forward. I'm not sure what's delaying the push here, Admirable.
Let me interrupt you, man, because we have team comms, and I had totally forgotten about that. So let's try and bring that in.
Let's go.
Just taking the year. Right
side.
Medic's in spawn. Snap it down.
Soldier
placing
really
the
weak
medic.
left. Soldier 8 HP on floor.
Medic outside of spawn.
Soldier down.
I'm coming in.
he's down.
I'm left, I'm down.
Go focus.
Nice.
I don't know what the demo is.
Scout.
So I
He's
would say
inside
demo.
spawn.
Suicide for point.
I'm on it.
Suicide for point on fucking January.
Well, you have to because the demo's not there. The demo is
They're
just
gonna
hiding in
push.
spawn.
So
Yeah, I know.
focus
They
on
died
it.
as well.
Sideshow with the crucial call there.
Absolutely, and it did seem a little bit strange there, a little bit lack of communication from, I guess, say the demo man Mike. He didn't really call a clear focus target there. He's laying down the big damage, I suppose you could say, and the team seems to lack a little bit of direction. But they've recapped this second point now, LBC, and they're putting a little bit of pressure onto that left roller door, which is where the majority of the Ayogurl players are residing at the moment. Both scouts will move to the right. This could be dangerous for them as the heavy combo's pushed out. They'll pick Efug and force the other scout back to the middle, but there is one player in, three players trying to
Tech's
flank
coming in
in
on the
behind.
flank as well.
And yeah, Tech will get picked by Mike. That was a good effort on the flank. Look at this combo play here. It's chaos as they take 3 players down at Ayogurl, trying to get onto that point. Maybe a little bit of desperation there, trying to get onto that 4th point. They're just throwing players away. Hawku going in now. He'll get picked by Demo. A little bit relentless. A soldier coming in as well. Sideshow. He'll go for the medic. He misses 2 rockets, unfortunately, and that'll leave Bull on 100 health. And they'll look to push to that 3rd point now, Admirable.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hoggy and Sideshow couldn't really seem to find the coordination to push in there together. They might have been able to make something happen, but it was just like watching some sort of survival horror there to see King of Squirrels and Stark just getting enveloped by all these red players. They went down eventually, but not without a fight. But it's a big advantage here for Bull. He's going to come in right hand side with Eggs on and Tech in tow. Mike pre-firing the pipes in there, and they're going to send in Stark as well to try and put some damage on. They've done enough to get the foresight, and they're in a good position to get out. Stark might even survive this one. There's a scout on his back who didn't see him in time, but 3 go down for that Uber force. The flank sort of getting smashed there with Hawku and Ether going down, not really in that same battle, but in a separate fight. The French have managed to come through here. LBC now poised to continue the aggression. They don't want to wait around, man. There's only 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. They're sending T-Mac in for the first wave of this bomb. They forced charge out. They may have forgotten that Uber was going to be popped there, and Koss is able to save his team and hold on to the point for now. But how many players will LBC lose in this engagement? They're going to send in Tech as well. He's going in deep. He's looking for that medic frag. Can't land. The fatal rocket onto Koss will get cleaned up, but that means that the Uber advantage is sort of slipping away here. Bull is able to build up with Flippy, but they can't contest the point.
No, they can't, but it looks like they'll get the spawn. Tech maybe just getting to the back spawn, added 8 seconds onto spawn. That might be crucial as Mike looks to spawn in here, and that'll give them the 1 player advantage onto the 2nd point. Desperation now for the French side as it gets closer to 1 minute 45 remaining. It's 3-2 to Ayogurl. They want to force this golden cap. They'll recap this 4th point. They have an Ubercharge advantage as well, James. Take us to this last push as they look to level the score.
Oh, Exxon opens the door. Mike Detz is sticky. He's starting to put down new ones, but Bull's going to take the initiative here, pop that charge off and encourage his demo man in, but it's a single Uber from this side. It's going to be pretty much full 8 seconds. He does start to flash the scouts, but that first push from Exxon hasn't found any frags, just putting out damage, and the Uber comes in from Koss. He leaps forward there with Stark, and they will find that frag onto Bull with no medic up. There's only a minute left. He's going to spawn in about 7 seconds. They have enough time to get a charge. He could go crits. He could try and make some sort of play, but really LBC need to keep players up right now in case AO decide to push. They seem sort of content to stay back. They're going to peek in here with their combo. There's a soldier above though. Sorry, a scout drops onto Koss. He's under big pressure here, but oh, he doesn't land the shot. That was Flippy that sucked out there. Should have had that medic pick. And players just keep being traded here, and this is probably a good situation for AO. As long as they can keep the numbers down, they're going to be able to hold on to last.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure coming into Tech as the combo of Ayogurl will put the pressure down onto the French. That'll be a 5-man down, just the medic alive. 2 spawns coming in, both scouts. The time is ticking, 24 seconds remaining. As I call it now, that's Bull coming in with an arrow onto last. Looks like he isn't wanting to wait for his team. Some pressure coming in the scout, he'll get picked by the body shot of Ethug. Another scout onto the point, that'll be the Uber, and it looks like this will be over with this Uber onto the last point. 4 players down for the French, and that last opportunity thrown away, James.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping the LBC could do was just get 6 players up, maybe a charge and try and do something, but AO were putting on sort of constant pressure there, kept poking in, kept numbers down, and were able to hold on in the end. Koss very determined to milk that Uber right at the end and make sure that his team could hold on. They're going to win that first map, Granary 3-2. We go to the logs right now, and we will see, is there anything to be seen in the stats here between this Ayogurl Sugar Daddy Hood Pussy Creepers versus La Berrichonne de Châteauroux fixture. Jesus, these could be the 2 longest names in Premiership history.
Certainly glad I've got an Irishman joining me today to pronounce those names. I'll be exempt from that for today. And I'm looking at the stats now, and Mike coming in with a big 12k damage, a good kill death ratio as well, a kill assist per death 2.7, the highest of all the players. Obviously renowned as probably what many would say the pillar of Epsilon for many a season, holding them together and providing that sort of deathmatch output. And again, Stark coming in fairly strong as well, with quite a considerable difference on tech and TMAC damage wise, nearly 2,000 damage from both the soldiers above there, and again a positive kill death ratio where we've seen possibly a little bit more soldier aggression from both tech and TMAC, resulting in what you could say is both negative kill death ratio, in the sense that they're more deaths than they have kills, and that's possibly down to the fact that they played so much more aggressive on the middle points. And yeah, it looks like Mike being a standout player, or the combo of Ayogurl coming strong there, James.
Yeah, look how many, how few deaths he has compared to Exxon. Like, Exxon is this sort of stereotypical, overly aggressive demo man, but I mean, sure, Mike outdamaged him, but he was also alive in 6 more occasions, and that having your demo man up constantly is just like such a great way to remain in control of the pace of the game. Even if you're at a bad situation in terms of Uber, you can always use your demo man to buy time. And obviously, if you pump out that much damage, like 411 damage per minute, that's going to make it pretty easy for your scouts to clean up. And if you look in kills and assists per death, Hockey's second behind Mike. So I feel like he's been following up, helping Mike get those 13 assists, no doubt. And Stark as well, very solid. He's definitely a match for these French soldiers, able to control them or anticipate their moves as well. We saw him shut down a few of those soldier aggressions on middle, but I'm not sure exactly what we're going to see here on Gullywash. I mean, Ayogurl have been a sort of unknown quantity, but now they've come out and shown us their first official map win. So congratulations to those guys, I guess. I don't know what we're going to see in store here.
Yeah, and that's going to obviously take a little bit of the momentum out of the French side seasons, LBC. From what I'm aware, they've won their maps so far. And what I can see as well, quickly hovering over those stats, just from a kill death perspective, not kill assist per death, you can only see the scouts from the French side on a positive kill death ratio, which is kind of surprising given that Granary is more of a soldier orientated map, I suppose. And you'd expect the heavies to have a bit of an easier ride there. But for Ayogurl, all the players apart from Sideshow above on kill death, it just seems to be that they're a little bit more sturdy. Perhaps that's down to the solid combo player, both the British combo of obviously Mike and Stark doing a very good job on that first map. It's going to be interesting to see now when we come to sort of, I guess you can say in some areas a little bit more open, a little bit more scout friendly in areas as well. Just how that changes. Obviously they have a sort of a wonder player, if you like, or someone a game changer in Flippy, who obviously has an excellent sniper on his day, well renowned for that, and obviously they can rock the heavy with tech as well. So it'll be interesting to see what the French side have up their sleeve coming into this Gullywash.